the presence of love in this place. Feel the wonder and the mystery. I feel happy, I feel great, 'cause I feel love in this place. I feel the presence of peace in this space. Feel the calm and the serenity. I feel the magic, you know, and I feel so safe, 'cause I feel peace in this place. Instead of all the places, you know, that we could choose to be, we choose to be here together today. And all the wonders, you know, that we will hear and see, we'll hear them together with Reverend Jeanne. I feel the presence of God in this place. I feel the power and the ecstasy. Well, I feel the warmth, you know, and I feel the grace, 'cause I feel God in this place. Instead of all the places, you know, that we could choose to be, we choose to be here together this day. And all the wonders that we will hear and see, we'll hear them together, you and me. I feel the presence of love in this place. I feel the wonder and the mystery. Well, I feel happy, you know, and I'm feeling so great, 'cause I feel love, I feel peace, and I feel God in this place, in this space, in this place.
For joining us today. Appreciate you. It is now time to stand and greet your neighbors.
You don't want to do this anymore?
Unity Church of Sun Lakes. We are a community of love and light, teaching and supporting one another to live the truths taught by Jesus Christ and other spiritual masters. And our vision is a world of oneness where all people are free to express their divine potential. We're doing pretty good without our screen. Also want to acknowledge that we have a community of people that watch us online, and so for those who couldn't make it here today, want to acknowledge you. There's the camera over there. Say hello to our community of people that watch online. And we look forward to having those of you that are not here today to be with us in the future. And we just kind of hold those who are part of our community who are not feeling well, and we know who they are, to just affirm in the positive that they are whole, healed, and well, and will be with us soon. And so now let's begin with our daily word by Julia Norton. Reverend Julia Norton.
I wasn't sure if I was the one reading it or not. All right. Thank you.
Realize, Sunday, July 18th, 2021. I realize the power of spiritual truth. I have had many aha moments throughout my life when something that had been befuddled me for years suddenly became clear. It may have been something I tried to learn in school, a skill I practiced and tried to master as I grew, or even an idea that challenged my understanding of the world around me. Whenever I realized something new, I could feel my world expanding, opening up before me in fresh and exciting ways, making me eager to discover even more. On my spiritual journey, I feel a similar excitement as I realize I have so much more than a spark of divinity within me. I am fully divine, just as I am fully human. I feel newly alive in this realization and so very grateful for it. And then from Genesis 28:16, when Jacob woke from his sleep and said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it."
And let's pray. Closing our eyes, relaxing into our chair, feeling our feet planted onto the earth. Taking a few deep breaths. Connecting to that presence within. That glorious, peaceful, abundant, wise presence. And it is in this space we acknowledge our oneness. Our oneness with the divine and our oneness with each other. How beautiful it is to be able to be in a room with like-minded people. God, I feel you. I feel you in every part of my body. Focusing now on visualizing that which you want to create in your life. That which you want to look forward to. Seeing yourself whole, healed, vibrantly alive. Seeing yourself with people, laughing and loving. Realizing who we are in this moment, which is one with the divine. All possibilities are available to you now. And also acknowledging that where we are right now is perfect. Exactly the way we are, and exactly the way we are not. We lovingly accept ourselves as we are. And we give thanks for our lives, for our families, for our communities. We give thanks for the service that we give to the world as best as we can and as only as we ourselves can give, because each one of us are the hands and the feet of God, and we do that uniquely. And we give thanks for all of the resources that we have at our fingertips: electricity, transportation, air conditioning, doctors and nurses. We give thanks for all of it, the good and the bad. For we know that all of it is happening for our favor, and it continues to do so with ease. And we give thanks for this service today, blessing the music, blessing the words spoken, knowing that each and every one of us will receive inspiration or motivation, and most importantly, love today. And for that, we are grateful. And now, let's sit in this beautiful space while Craig and Peterson play another song.
Those kind of like getting rid of every wire rolling through, running through life's winding canyons like it runs through you and me. See, love is really never life is just a passing chance. Thoughts of love in constant motion, and inviting us to join the dance. Where the storms they may come, showers they may fall, fill my every heartbeat with their rain. Clouds never fall, the river still runs to quench my thirst, fill me up again. Did you ever stop to wonder where the flood will flow your way? See, you can hear the river whispering, there comes a brighter day, where the storms they may come, showers they may fall, fill my every heartbeat with their ring, charging ever forward, the river still runs to quench my thirst, fill me up again. Don't forget the side of the river that you see. Say with each and every rainfall, blood is flowing back to you. For the storms they may come, showers they may fall, fill my every heartbeat with their rain, charging ever forward, the river still runs to quench my thirst, fill me up again. Storms they may come, and showers they may fall, fill my every heartbeat with their rain, charging ever forward, the river still runs to quench my thirst, fill me up again. To quench my thirst, fill me up again.
So we here are committed to being a catalyst for personal and collective transformation, in which the heart is open to experience God's profound love, God's profound joy, in which divinely inspired dreams are made manifest. We talked about that last month. So this is what we're all about. And if you think about distilling all of our teachings down to specific practices, I propose that there are 9 of them that when we experience them in tandem, support us in living from our God-centered nature. With our hearts open and our visions and dreams made manifest. So for the next few weeks, we will explore what I'm going to call the Divine 9. And just so you don't have to spend all month wondering what the Divine 9 are, here's the list, in no particular order. Meditation, visioning, affirmative prayer, visualizing, affirmations, gratitude, forgiveness, sacred service, and sacred giving. So there they are, the 9 sacred divine practices that will take us upward around that evolutionary spiral of consciousness. And it is my intention to bring each of them alive in our lives. So where do we go today? Well, let's begin with a Sufi teaching and then a story. From those, you may get a hint of which of the Divine 9 we're going to explore today. So the Sufi teaching goes like this. Past the seeker, as he prayed, came the crippled and the beggar and the beaten. And seeing them, the seeker cried, "Great God! How is it that a loving creator such as you can see these things and do nothing about them?" And God said, "I did not do nothing about them. I sent you." And the story goes like this. One Sunday morning, as the congregation filed into a little Catholic church in a plaza called Santa Rosa, there was a loud intake of breath, a unified gasp. The statue of Jesus stood in the corner as usual, but vandals had entered the chapel and broken off his hands. After Mass, the priest organized a committee of parishioners to investigate the crime and to begin raising money to buy another statue. The following Sunday, as the congregation filled in again for Mass, there was another loud intake of breath, but this time it was a gasp in awe. For they saw a sign hanging around the statue's neck. It was carefully hand-lettered and read, "I have no hands but yours." There's a beautiful song by Karen Drucker that says, "I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world." So I'd like to turn that into an affirmation for us today, but I want to tweak it ever so slightly. So please repeat after me. I am the heart.
I am the heart.
I am the hands.
I am the hands.
I am the voice
I am the voice
of spirit on earth,
of spirit on earth,
and who I am,
and who I am,
and all I do
and all I do
is a blessing
is a blessing
to me and the world.
to me and the world.
Beautiful. It is through giving of ourselves in the form of our time and talent in sacred service, and in the form of our treasure in sacred giving, that we reenact the loving givingness of God and therefore express our own divine nature. That is so important. So let me say it again. It is through our giving of ourselves in the form of our time and talent in sacred service and in the form of our treasure in sacred giving that we reenact the loving givingness of God and therefore express our own divine nature. And isn't that what we are here for? And isn't that what we are here for?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm in the right place. To express our divine nature in the highest way possible with these gifts. And to help us do that today, we're going to explore the two items on our Divine Nine list, seva, which is Sanskrit, meaning sacred service, and tithing, otherwise known as sacred giving. So beginning with seva, otherwise known as sacred service. When you hear the word seva, or the idea of service, your mind might immediately jump into volunteerism. And yes, there are plenty of opportunities to volunteer everywhere you look, within and beyond this community. And the practice of sacred service, or seva, is that for sure. But it goes beyond that. It is not something that we do in addition to everything else. that we are doing in our lives. It isn't another chore or another task. It is something that we do while we are going about the normal business of every day. In India, there lived a reverend saint by the name of Ramakrishna. People came from everywhere to see his wisdom. One day, a very old woman came to sit at Ramakrishna's feet. And she said, "Ramakrishna, my time is short on earth. I fear that I have never known the divine. I fear death. I believe I'm too old to start a spiritual practice now. What should I do?" Ramakrishna thought for a moment, and then he asked her, "What do you love?" The old woman immediately lit up. She said, "I love my grandson. He's everything to me." There is your spiritual practice, Ramakrishna said. Love him and see the divine in him. That's seva, sacred service. Seeing the divine in all whom you encounter, treating them with loving kindness and helpfulness. Charles Fillmore once wrote, "The value of all service lies in the spirit in which you serve, and not in the importance or magnitude of the service. Even the lowliest task or deed is made holy, joyous, and prosperous when it is filled with love." The spiritual practice of selfless seva, truly is one of the simplest and yet most profound and life-changing ways that we can put our spiritual knowledge into action. After all, what good is our spiritual knowledge if it does not change the way we live and interact with others on a daily basis? I myself, on my vacation, had a lovely opportunity to practice seva with my parents. We all met in Des Moines, Iowa. Even my sister and her daughters came from Germany, and my parents drove their big RV van to Des Moines, Iowa from Wisconsin. And I had the privilege I booked the hotel for the entire family so that we could all be on the same floor, so that we could be in adjoining rooms. My parents love to swim, and so I said, "Let's go to the pool." And it's a little different running an elevator these days. You gotta use the key and you gotta push, So I took them to the pool and showed them how to leave, because you gotta learn that too. And when it was time to go to the wedding, I arranged for a shuttle for the entire family to ride over there together. I arranged for the shuttle to pick my parents up as soon as they wanted to go home. The next day we went to the bride and groom's house in Des Moines, Iowa. They didn't know how to get around. They don't use maps. They didn't want to drive their van. And so I arranged for a Uber there and back. And at the end of the whole thing, what is automatic for me, so simple, was a huge service for my parents. I never even thought about it. They just said, "You have no idea how much you made this trip stress-free for us by taking that vision and doing that for us." That made me feel so good. That's seva. So let me take a moment to honor some few people here in this community to give a short testimonial on blessings that they received from their service. So Julia, would you mind speaking about your service?
When I thought about doing the prayer group on Zoom, it's just so that I knew Reverend Jeanne was doing her part on putting her service online and everything, and I thought, well, what can I do to keep our group together? And so Zoom came about, and And we have about sometimes 6, sometimes 9 people, and a couple times it was 12. And it just touched me, and it touched a lot of people every week to see each other. And we've got people from Oregon that hasn't been here for years, and Denver, and now Barbara Castro's in California, so we can see each other each week. And they really helped me get through my process last year with Gary. And sorry. He had a seizure in May, and that group kept me together. And then he passed away in September, and they were there for me, and always there every week for me. So thank you. It just touches me every time I see them, and we can pray together. And we pray for others all the time, and there's a box over there for prayers. Our group will pray for them, and then we send them to Unity, and they pray for them for 30 days too. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your service, your seva. And Betty. Betty's also part of it.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to give enough time for that. Yes, others have that problem too. I'm here to represent the Reiki group, and this is a service that I truly love. It's a wonderful group of people, and we meet on Tuesday each week for about an hour and a half, and thanks to the wonder of Zoom, we can see each other. And like Julia says, we have people from all over the country. A lot of people go away for the summer, but they're with us on Zoom. And we each take a little time to send Reiki energy to each individual person for 3 minutes. And we do this every week, and we've come to know each other as persons. We've come to know each other's families, each other's pets, each other's grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so forth. It's been a wonderful thing to help us all get through this COVID time that we've all experienced. So I feel really, really warm and good about this service. And if you'd like to join us, Lois below is the one who sends out the link. And we meet every Tuesday. It's wonderful. You'll love it.
Thank you, Betty. And I have one more testimony from Julie Santamaria.
Come forward, I'm shy. I want to thank the ladies that started the prayer group in Reiki, because I have a varying work schedule and was never able to make it in person. So Zoom is my life, and I love it. In my sacred services, I've been a massage therapist for over 35 years in Arizona, professional and licensed. And when I first started, I was a kid working on my uncles and cousins' neck and shoulders, and I just liked doing it to help people. So I got training in 1986 when I lived in Flagstaff, and I've been doing it part-time ever since. But it's such a blessing to me to be able to use my hands, as Jeanne says, to spread God's love and peace in all the people that I work on and care for. And it gives me peace and happiness to be able to help people. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Now let's give those three a hand, huh?
Jeanne,
Yes.
if I may,
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
I know a lot of you don't know me, but I'd like to share a personal experience of mine. A lot of you may know I fix people's computers, and I have been doing so professionally for 11 years. I got into this service more as a hobby. Really didn't intend for it to be a business, but it just kind of turned out that way. I got into it because I wanted to share my love of technology with everyone else, because I saw so many people who didn't understand technology, and I knew the wonders and the things it could do for them. I knew that by having a computer and by knowing how to use it, that they could enhance their lives so much more. It doesn't have to replace your life, but it can enhance your life and make it easier for you. Because, just little things that you don't even think about. And And so, there are plenty of times I've gone over to people's houses and, I don't even charge them. I just go over there and, hey, it's simple, this, and this. Next time, it's no big deal, doesn't work out. It's just, because I love what I do. I really do. And I want to share that love of technology with other people. And so, if you ever have a question, feel free to come ask me, because I'll be more than happy to share my love of technology with you too. Trust me, it might actually talk your ear off. But, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Her service today has spoken a lot to me personally. It's probably exactly what I need to hear right now. I've been going through a lot of stuff in my own life right now, and this is probably exactly what I need to hear. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing, Tom. That, my friends, is sacred practice of seva.
Does he have business cards?
Do you have business cards,
Not
John?
on me.
Bring some next week.
We have, bring some next week.
Okay.
You're lying at your door.
That wasn't the intention with that. So,
No, but you want to serve, and you've got people that want your
Yes.
service.
apparently so.
So you are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to you and the world. The second Divine Nine spiritual practice that we will explore today is the act of sacred giving, otherwise known as tithing. Tithing acknowledges in one of the most tangible ways we can that God is our source, our one and only source. It is a practice in which we absolutely walk the talk, not talk the talk. Through tithing, we say to ourselves and to the universe, I trust that God is my source, and I put my money is energy, I put my money where my mouth is. Meister Eckhart, German mystic in the late 1200s, who taught about the union of the individual soul with God, once said these profound words: there is nothing else a man can do that is so beautiful as to put complete trust in God. God never failed anyone who trusted him greatly, but rather by them he does great things. As long as you know, act, live, and breathe that God is your source, you will be blessed. It is when you turn from God as the source and depend upon people and conditions for your blessings that challenges multiply. People and conditions are channels of your supply, to be sure, but God is the source. Charles Fillmore once wrote, tithing is based upon a law that cannot fail, and it is the surest way ever found to demonstrate plenty, for it's God's own law and way of giving. By the act of tithing, one makes God their partner in their financial transactions, and thus keeps the channel open from the source in the ideal to the manifestation in the realm of things. To be clear, what is a tithe? Literally, the word tithe means 10%. So a tithe is 10% of your financial good shared with those who are doing God's work in the world, with those who remind you of the truth of who you are, and with those whose works you want to see flourish and prosper so it can continue to bless the world and you. Perhaps you are thinking, this all sounds well and great, but I cannot afford to tithe. That statement, I've said it myself, and more than one person in this room has uttered it. But in response to that statement, Catherine Ponder writes, then you cannot afford to. You cannot afford not to. The greater the present financial necessity, the greater the need for immediately invoking the power of tithing. Let's look at it this way. All of our good, all of our money is really God's. And then, when we tithe, we get to retain and use 90% of it, leaving only 10 with the source. 90 is ours to retain. And that's a lot. So let's just see how much that is. I have asked a number of people to play with me today. And so I ask you to come forward now with your things. I've asked them to bring 10 like things. And I'm going to ask you to put 9 of your 10 things on this table and 1 of your things on this table. And if you want to share what your things are, feel free.
I have scarves, lots of scarves.
And I brought crystals.
My wife says you can never have
Crystal, I also brought.
What did you say, Tom?
And in addition to crystal that I also brought.
Yeah, thank you. It's one of your favorite things. You get to keep that one.
She's a keeper.
Oh, and we have hats. On this table, just 9 of them, and we can put 1 here. Love the hat. I brought books. I collect books. These are my favorite books. I probably have 50 favorites at home. I'll put those out here. Those here. And Julia, you put all of your scarves up here. I have a question for you. Are you okay with leaving 1 of them and keeping the other 9? Not here today. I mean, you'll take them home, but how do you feel about that? Can you give...
Yes, that's fine.
Doesn't...
I'll have plenty.
You want to play?
I have guitar picks.
Oh, wonderful. 1. Well, this is God's table. You get to...
Oh, what do I do? 1 goes here?
Yeah, 1 goes here, 1 goes over there.
1 goes here. Got it.
Thank you. And Tom, are you okay with sharing one with your 10? 1 of your 10.
Telling about it.
How does it feel?
It's, you mentioned treasures. These are my treasures, really. Some of them are quite unique. There's a number of things that are ulexite, which you can actually... I'll be brief here. I can hold this up there and you can see the letters of this book through this crystal, perhaps.
Oh, neat.
Anyway, so I brought ulexite, I brought a bunch of other things. I have a crystal ball here, actually. I have a ulexite wand. It's actually polished, and I used to do energy work. Maybe I still do. And over there is something I got in Russia. It's a sacred geometric crystal. It's a icosahedron, and it is quite unique in what I want to do with it in the future.
Very cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you for playing. The point is, can you see, we get to keep all of this, and we give up 1. And when I thought about this myself today, it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me to share 1 of my 9 things. And I also know that out of here, even with all of these, I'm happy to share with my community too. It doesn't hurt. That's the point. I remember my first prosperity class that I went to probably 9 years ago or so, and they asked me to tithe off of my gross income. But there was major promises. they said that if you did not feel blessed after this 8-week class of tithing to that specific church at the time, I think it was Creative Living Fellowship at the time, and I was a member of Unity of Mesa. But I signed up for this class at CLF, so I committed to it. And the very first one hurt a little bit. And I had to think about it, and I had to pray about it, and I had to do some stuff. I had to arrange how I had to look at things. But I believed in it so much that God is my source. And I believed in the minister at the time. I thought, she's cool. She wouldn't lie. And the very first week when I paid that first check off of my gross income, not my net, which is what I was doing, I received a check in the mail for the exact amount that I had tithed from a school that I hadn't attended in over 5 years. And the letter said, we just completed an audit and found that you had overpaid your tuition. Here's your check. Ha! Wow. So I'm a true believer in it. Also, I went through a divorce, and I went back to tithing off of my net for quite some time because it helped me feel a little breathing room. And then I told you last year when my minister friend said, oh, would you rather receive blessings off of your gross income or off of your net income? I said, that's easy to answer, of course. And so I changed that. And I will tell you, I used to live paycheck to paycheck before last year when I started tithing off of my gross. And the truth is that when you tithe off of your gross, you do not notice it. Because you get paid back in so many other ways. And if I thought about that too this week, our church is alive and financially stable and well. What a blessing. You can't put a price on that. There are so many Unity churches that have folded because people weren't keeping up with their tithing, or they just couldn't keep their doors open. Ours is financially awesome. This is not a program for the church to receive money. This is about practicing a spiritual practice. Okay, enough on that. So I want to make you an offer today. If you want to test what I have just said, if you want to see if I'm just blowing spiritual smoke, or if there really is something to this sacred giving stuff, then I'm offering you a 90-day challenge. It's simple. You fill out a form that Julia's going to pass out, and then over the next 90 days, you immediately and consistently return 10% to God via this center. Even if you feel afraid to do it, even if you don't think you can do it, even if you want to quit, do it for 90 days. The most important thing to remember is to do it in the spirit of love, not fear. Do it in the spirit of love.
Oh, I have pens. Anybody need pens?
During the journey, you will receive supportive emails from me, and there will be a special something at the end of those 90 days for those of you who choose to take on this challenge. I also invite you to take the form home, because like I said, think about it. No one's making you do this. It's just pray about it. Think about it.
What if we already do that?
If you already do it, then let me know, because I will be sending emails out that are supportive in visioning. We'll be practicing the 9 practices that we'll be going through. So if it appeals to you, fill it out. I have a special something for you if you fill it out today. And if you're not, you can just leave them on the table in the back if you want to too. So abundant giving of our time and our talent through Seva, and abundant giving of our treasure through tithing. Those are 2 of our divine 9 spiritual practices this month. And when we combine them with the other 7 practices that we will explore the rest of the month, personal and collective transformation cannot help but occur. Transformation in which the heart is opened to experience God's profound love and joy and in which divinely inspired dreams are made manifest. And that is abundant living, not only for ourselves, but for the world and around us. And now, Craig. Oh, wait. Let's see, it's late, so we'll go into our tithing now, our opportunity to collect offerings and gifts. And so if you already tithe online or give in some other way, I ask you to bring that gift into your mind and into your hearts. And we will say together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And now we'll sing, I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We thank you, Julia. We bless the givers and the receivers of these gifts and know they are but a symbol of the inexhaustible substance of the universe. We give thanks that 10 times as much is now on its way to us and quickly manifests in perfect ways. And now it is time for announcements. I know Betty may have an announcement.
Thank you. I don't know if you guys read your emails or not, but I've talked to a lot of people this morning who said they don't know anything about our pizza party coming up this Friday. So Julia has sent a letter to each of you, and she's going to send it again. So please read it and let me know, because we will have reserved seats for those who sign up. Come on.
Anybody else have an announcement? All right, then let's stand and we will close with the prayer for protection, and then Craig and Peterson will sing us out. And I believe he's going to have us sing with him, so. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We did this last time I was here. It's a call and response song. I sing a verse, you sing back. Do we need to practice once, or are you good? We're good. You're good. I release. I let go. I let God. 'Cause I know it is done. It is so. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I release. I let go. I let God. 'Cause I know
Love it. God